This year, Southwire launched 2 new digital multimeters, adding to their already robust lineup of electrical testing and measurement tools. These new meters measure AC, DC, resistance, and batteries, and both have double molded housing that's tough enough to survive a 6-foot drop. They've also got big LCD displays, built-in storage for the testing probes, and they've even got a kickstand. So, are they worth the purchase? And if so, which one's right for you? Well, to answer that question, we enlisted the help of Trent Parker, the instruction coordinator at the Electrical Trade Center, to give us an inside look at the features, applications, and even the limitations of each model. Here's what Trent had to say.
Hey, I'm Trent Parker. I am the instruction coordinator here at the Electrical Trade Center. The Electrical Trade Center is the apprenticeship program for the IBEW Local 683 and the National Electrical Contractors Association of Central Ohio. In addition to teaching, some of the duties here that I have are making sure that all of our instructors and students have all the materials and curriculum that they need, as well as making sure all of our students are enrolled at Columbus State Community College. So we're really excited today to have a chance to take a look at 2 of Southwire's meters, and we're going to kind of take a look at these things very thoroughly and see what they have to offer. Of course, Southwire is one of our training partners here at the Electrical Trade Center, so it makes it extra exciting. So before we dive into the meters, I'd just like to take a couple of minutes and make sure that we all understand the most important aspect of all test equipment, and that is their category rating. There are 4 category ratings available for test equipment. Category 1 is essentially any type of electronic equipment, including computers, fax machines, copy machines, things like that. Category 2 would refer to single-phase receptacles and lighting loads. Category 3 would include 3-phase systems and the distribution equipment. Category 4 would include the utility side, including the meter and any other conductors found outside, both overhead and underground. This is the Southwire 131S manual ranging multimeter. A couple things that you want to look for on all meters are the UL listing. That's going to make sure that it's been tested and certified by a third-party testing lab. The second thing to look for on the meter is the category and voltage ratings that we talked about at the beginning. You'll notice here that this meter has a Cat 3 rating of 300 volts and a Category 2 rating of 600 volts. What that tells me is that this meter can be used on distribution equipment 300 volts and less, and on 600 volt equipment on single phase receptacle loads. Now, this meter does offer probably what I consider to be your 3 most common measurements. Voltage, which it will do both AC and DC voltage, as well as measure resistance and current. You'll notice that there is also a feature here to test batteries, both 9 and 1.5 volt. But what I found when using the meter is that you can actually accomplish that in both the battery test mode or in the DC voltage mode. So there are some things that I like about this meter, and of course there are going to be some things that this meter is limited by. The first thing is, of course, those 3 most common measurements. Those are the big 3, we call them, and this hits on those. So this meter would offer you the ability to measure the most common measurements. A couple things that I don't like are the fact that this has the 300 volt Cat 3 rating. This to me limits this use for mostly residential or very light commercial applications. The other thing that I found that I did not like is that anytime you're making a measurement with current, you'll notice this little disclaimer here that the meter can only be powered up in the circuit for 30 seconds and then has to sit at rest for 15 minutes. But if you read the fine print in the manual, you'll find that that's only true for measurements under 5 amps. From 5 amps to 10 amps, you can only have this meter in the circuit for 10 seconds with a 15-minute rest. All right, and next up, we're taking a look at Southwire's 141N auto ranging multimeter. This meter is a little bit more robust than the last one that we looked at and has quite a few additional features. The first thing is, again, we take a look. This one has been tested, it's UL listed, and so that we know it is safe to use. Secondly, we look at the category rating. This has a category 3 600 volt range, so we're going to have a little bit more flexibility as to what this meter can be used for. In addition to the top 3 test measurements, this meter also offers the ability to test for both diode and capacitance, as well as temperature in both Fahrenheit and Celsius, as well as the frequency and duty cycle. And one of the coolest features that I found on this meter is the additional non-contact voltage detector that's built in. We simply turn the dial to non-contact voltage test mode and place it near a live voltage, and we can see that there is voltage present. Another thing that I would like to point out about both of these meters is the 131S is a manual ranging multimeter, and the 141N is an auto ranging meter. So what that means is that with the manual ranging meter, you would have to at least make a best guess as to what range your voltage or your current or your resistance was, and then start determining what it truly is. With the auto ranging, it's going to give you the flexibility of just simply making a test, and it's going to quickly determine whatever voltage, current, resistance, or any of the other settings that are available on the meter. So as a recap, in my opinion, both of these meters would be great tools for a residential electrician. Either of them are going to be safe to use in those environments. I personally like the auto ranging. There's some additional features there that are available, but they're both good meters for those applications.
Well, there you have it, 2 new digital multimeters from Southwire. Thanks to Trent and his staff of talented instructors at the Electrical Trade Center. If you're interested in learning more about becoming an electrician, be sure to check out their website at electricaltrades.org. And if you're looking for a new Southwire multimeter yourself, be sure to visit Ohio Power Tool at ohiopowertool.com. Be sure to like and subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you this Friday at noon for our Power Tool Week in Review. Thanks for watching. We'll see you then.